I feel like it's been a minute since we've looked at a single strike deck, so that's what we're going to do today. Why? Because, well, it's my channel, my rules. Hey everybody, Nick from 9Card TCG. Today we are looking at single strike Umbreon or Urshifu, which you already figured out from the thumbnail, if I'm being honest, and from the 10-second intro I just did. Now it's interesting because the day I'm recording this, Tablemon posted a video of a very similar deck list, and it just goes to show that it's something that people are thinking about and trying to adapt to the meta and make single strike Urshifu a little bit more impactful in the current meta. And so what does that even look like? Well, let's go take a look at the deck list. So here we go, single strike Urshifu. The main thing you're going to notice is that we are now running 4 copies of Umbreon V. Why? Well, it's a dark type single strike Pokemon, which means we can accelerate energies to it with single strike roar on Houndoom, and it being a dark type means it's going to hit some of the best decks in the game for weakness. Mew Vmax, Shadow Rider, Dragapult are all going to get one shot by Moonlight Blade, which does 80 damage plus 80 more if this has any damage counters on it. So it's going to be doing 160 damage. 160 times 2 for weakness is 320, so you're going to be knocking out all those Vmaxes, and that's not even including the bonus damage or the buff you get from single strike energy. Another reason why Umbreon is so good is because it has 2 colorless energies in its attack cost, means it's a prime target for something like Capture Energy to help get our Houndours or maybe even other Umbreons onto the field as quickly as possible. Umbreon VMAX with the Dark Signal ability lets you move a Pokemon from their opponent's bench to their active spot, and then you could hit them with a static 160. Again, that's going to be bumped by weakness and single strike energy, so you can really put a hurting on your opponent's Pokemon. You can take easy knockouts on something like a Crobat to get 2 prizes, or bring up their psychic Pokemon that has some energy on it so you can knock it out and really ruin your opponent's day. We are still running 3 copies of single strike Urshifu. Why? Well, because things like Jolteon and Gengar are weak to fighting, but also because this has really good one-shot potential on most Vs. We also are running 1 copy of Urshifu Vmax for some wall breaking and just to knock out anything in the game like opposing Urshifus, or maybe something that's not weak to fighting or dark. Leafeon, for example, you can one-shot pretty much everything in the game with Gmax One Blow. The rest of the deck is very, very similar to every other single strike list. This one, I am running 2 copies of Great Ball, and that's one of the differences between my list and Tablemon's list, is he has 2 Crobats and 1 fighting energy, and I said let's get the second fighting energy just to ensure we don't whiff that energy, or that we have 2 targets for laser focus if we absolutely have to use it. And yeah, that's pretty much the list. We also have a Tool Scrapper in here. I don't really remember what Tablemon's list has in replace of Tool Scrapper, but it's probably something. But either way, let's get into some gameplay and see how this deck performs. Going into the first game here, and if you aren't already, please hit the subscribe button and bell notification if this is your first time checking out the channel. I really do appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully you like what you're seeing so far, but leaving subscribes, that's not English, hitting the subscribe button really does help the channel grow, because it tells YouTube that this is a good video, and it helps the channel grow. And when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing a first edition giveaway. So now we're left with an option here. Do we want to start Umbreon or do we want to start Urshifu? They have a psychic coin, so I'm going to go with Umbreon. Now, of course, the coin means nothing. They have the 3 birds, 3 legendary bird deck box and sleeves, so it could just be cosmetic. They might like the way it looks, but I'm going to take my chances here. We are going second, which is not ideal. We want to be able to develop our Houndooms as quickly as possible, so we really want to try to utilize this Great Ball, this Shadow Rider. So we did guess correctly, so we want to try to draw into a quick ball, a tower, something like that really quickly, so we can get some Houndooms out very quickly. It unfortunately does not seem like this is going to be particularly great for us. We get a Tool Scrapper or quick ball, Great Ball. I mean, we get Houndoom, which we'll just take, but which maybe I shouldn't have taken. This is going to get into the discard pile anyway, and let's research. I don't have any options I need. There we go. That's what I want to see. And I think I kind of want to hang on to this quick ball, because we have the Evolution Incense and the Houndoom to get 2 Houndooms. We have the Capture Energy, which we can capture Houndoom Evo Incense for a Vmax, get something from their bench that they might be powering up. And we will look to ensure that they don't retreat this coming turn. We got the Tool Scrapper to get rid of the Air Balloon, so they can't retreat unless they evolve or play like a switch. They're going to go with the Training Court. I actually don't mind a Training Court, because if they do Marnie, or they research, so they can't. But if they attach an energy here and Shadow Mist, I can't attach the Capture Energy from hand, but I can still Single Strike Roar, get the Fighting Energy with the Training Court, and still make my attack. Now I'm going to, of course, bring up this Vmax so that I can get 3 prizes and, you know, disrupt them. They obviously have the one Calyrex Vmax on the field, so it's the only thing that can use Underworld Door. So they're going to go ahead and get a Crobat. They're going to Crobat for just... That can't be right. They're going to Crobat for 1? They have to be desperate to Crobat for 1. Man, that would be so unfortunate. And the best thing about this Shadow Rider having 100 damage on is that I could send up an Urshifu if I needed. They're going to Crobat for 2. Okay. They already attached from hand, and they're going to Sugary Sprinkles, which heals. That's all it does. So we'll go ahead, we'll drop. We actually can, I guess we can Capture Energy, right? Go here. We can Evo Incense. We'll get the... No, we don't want to get that. We want to get the Umbreon VMAX. And now we'll Single Strike Roar. We'll Vmax. We'll bring up the Calyrex. We're going to Training Court to get this Fighting Energy, so that we can Quick Ball it away. And let's get that other Houndour, right? Let's just load up. And now let's research. We end up not getting anything particularly great, but we don't need this this Urshifu. And we'll go ahead and we'll just Max Darkness take the KO. Get 3 nice prizes, 3 juicy prizes. There's a Houndoom. And there's an Umbreon VMAX. So, if they Marnie us, that actually wouldn't be terrible. And considering the size of our hand, they may want to. So we'll go ahead and get the Training Court back out. There's the Marnie. So now we have these 2 Single Strike Energies back in the deck, which is exactly what we want. So we can start to work on setting up our other Umbreon in case this gets knocked out somehow. We do have a Houndoom, so between Houndoom Tower, we can draw, we can Marnie. I do think that's... Unless they get completely rolling. I mean, I'm going to have... I likely will have Umbreon VMAX in my hand. They're going to start plowing away. There's the Articuno. So they can Cruel Charge. After they get another... Actually, they probably wouldn't want a Cruel Charge. They only have one Underworld Door going, so they might have no choice. Yeah, there's the Cruel Charge for 2. They played the Marnie, so they have only 2 cards in hand. They can discard 5 energies. That leaves them with nothing for next turn, though. But it is enough. So they'll take 3 prizes. And that's Alcremie VMAX is the most difficult part of this matchup. So we get a Capture Energy, which is nice. We'll go ahead, we'll thin the deck out just a little bit more. We'll evolve. Now, if we didn't have the Capture Energy, we could have used Training Court to get the dark energy, or the fighting energy back into the into our hand, so we could have attached like that as well, which is why I used it for the quick ball. We'll go here. We got the energies out of the deck, so we're less likely to draw into them. We get a Great Ball. We actually have Boss's Orders, so it does not matter, but there's the Umbreon VMAX, and that's going to be game right there. And they concede because they see it. Let's do one more quick match. We'll see how this goes. I mean, we can end up losing to Mew if they are playing Mew. We get to go first though. And if you haven't, hit the like button and leave a comment. Tell me what you think of this different Urshifu build. It helps the channel tremendously. Likes, comments, especially shares, those are all things that tell YouTube that this is a good video and other people should watch it. So, hello. We'll go ahead. Umbreon will Great Ball. We get a Crobat. Not exactly what we want. I am going to take a chance here. We'll bench. We'll go here. We're not going to get it. We're just going to fail it, I think. And we'll try to Crobat for 3. I need like an energy or 2 Houndours or something. We get an energy. And we get a Houndour. So that's pretty good. And there we go. We'll leave the Air Balloon in case we need it. But now we can Houndour. We can Houndoom before we single strike Roar. We are of course going to Marnie to increase our chances of drawing into an energy and then single strike Roar. Because if we take the energy out of the deck with single strike Roar, there's one less and we might not find it. So we really want to draw an energy here. Now, they only have 2 fusion Pokemon in play and 6 cards in hand, so they can't use... They're going to go... See, this is why we kept the Air Balloon in hand. Because they're going to try to energy mix. That's the only... I mean, they can't at least Sparkle, actually. So the only attack they can use is energy mix, which is just going to put an energy on a Pokemon. So... now we have the Air Balloon to go ahead and get our Urshifu out of the active. So they made a, I mean, it was a good play to try to stall. They actually can't even energy mix now because this is just a regular Capture Energy, but they're going to go ahead and get another Genesect. Still can't make use of Fusion Strike system. Now they can. Now they'll be able to draw 2 cards most likely. And we'll see what they end up doing. The cards in their hand must be pretty important to... if they have all 4 Genesects set up. So we really need to take out this Mew this turn. Tool... oh, of course they get the Tool Jammer. Of course they pull it from the... what are the chances? Come on, they usually have 1. And they switch. They switch though. They retreat out. Ooh, that actually works a little bit in my favor. Before I retreat, let's go ahead and Marnie. So let's go ahead. We will attach the energy. We'll single strike Roar. We'll go here. We'll quick ball away this Capture Energy. Our Crobat's prized. Now, this is going to do 220 damage. But I think I'm actually going to stay here. Because I can't let them knock out that Umbreon. So if they boss and they Techno Fusion, there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. Or they Cross Fusion, whatever, Cross Fusion Strike, and hit me with a Techno Blast. Unfortunately, I can't do anything. Sure, I could knock out the Genesect, but then they are guaranteed to get the knockout on my Umbreon. Since I didn't draw Umbreon VMAX, you know, that's unfortunately it. So I'm really hoping they don't have a boss. There's their switch.
Bruh.
Oh my. Man, they're getting everything they need. And we are not getting the stuff we need. And we have no draw for next turn. We drew the boss's orders, but it was off of the Marnie, so we couldn't use it. It was just a very unfortunate setup here. I kind of have no choice but to send up Umbreon because of the Tool Jammer. And we just lose. There's nothing I can do. We don't have any draw. We can try to bring up a Genesect. We can drop. We can single strike Roar. We have one energy in the deck. If they have a switch or two cross switches or something, I mean, they have too many cards in their hand to be able to really make use of Fusion Strike system. So it's just so unfortunate that they had the switch and the boss the turn that we do not want them to have it. They are going to be able to retreat now, right? Because they can attach here and now manually retreat into the Vmax. But because they use their... I mean, we need a research is what I need. I need research. I don't know if they can Techno Fusion Strike more than once because they have multiple Genesects. But the words on Techno Blast is during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. So it would technically copy that text. So I actually don't know. We need a research. We get a fighting energy.
God is mocking me!
We unfortunately, all three of our single strike energies are in the discard pile, so there's nothing I can do. So there you go. That's unfortunately how this video is going to end. One of the big issues with single strike is that it can be just a little inconsistent at times, and because we couldn't find an Urn, one of our 4 Urns, we couldn't find one of our 4 researchers, one of our Marnie, like we just... You end up missing things that you need just so many times with single strike that its biggest weakness is inconsistency. However, with that said, that matchup against Mew would be significantly different if we were able to just attack once. If we attack once, I mean, the game's halfway over and then they don't have another Mew Vmax set up. But, you know, that's just not the way it goes every time. Even though the matchup is in your favor, doesn't mean you're going to win every time. I've lost the single strike Urshifu to Jolteon because we just couldn't get our energies rolling faster than they were able to set up and start sniping my Houndours down. So one of the things to consider if you are looking to play this deck, I do strongly recommend it. The number of times you whiff that hard are not, it's not that often. You do whiff, but you don't whiff that hard like I did in that last game with Mew. And yeah, that's just the way it goes. But that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, found it a little bit informative. If you did, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button and bell notification. Like I said earlier, we are doing a giveaway at 1,000 subscribers, and it's going to be a really nice giveaway. It's actually something on this shelf, so you can't see it. It's hidden, so don't start guessing what it is. But it's going to be something that's up there, and yeah, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I did all this already, so I'm just going to go. I'll see you next time.